Hi guys, welcome to another episode of the Real Football Talk. I have Adil with me as always. Adil, how are you? Another great weekend.
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, another busy weekend.
Yeah.
Games are coming thick and fast, just how we like it.
Yep. It was hard, you know. I've literally this weekend traveled over about 600 miles. So watching games have been quite difficult.
Well, where did you go to Dortmund and back?
Not Dortmund, but yeah.
No, I know you've had a busy weekend.
Let's get going. Let's start with the thrashing 9-0. I mean, Bournemouth seems to be getting battered week in, week out. What's going on with? I mean, we'll speak about Liverpool first, then we get into Bournemouth. Brilliant comeback from Liverpool.
Reaction, yeah, brilliant reaction. I think you could tell there was going to be a reaction after the. But I think also for some of the players, the reaction to the shooting of the young girl, and it's a big thing in Liverpool. And you could see some of the players they had messages at the end of the game. So you could tell, Klopp's really good at using every form of motivation as he can. And yeah, they started on fire. Just can't help but feel sorry for Bournemouth because. I mean, you're laughing, Matt. Really, I feel sorry for him because
listen,
they're not really helping him out.
That's 3 games. 16 goals.
Yeah, but they won their first game 2-0, and you got to look at the teams they've played after that. So,
True.
City, Liverpool, and I can't remember who they played before that. So, Arsenal, yes. I just think. It's the fixture list hasn't been kind to him. Many teams will lose to those 3 teams, and ultimately, it's the worst time to play Arsenal for anyone because they're on bang on form.
It's not that, Adu. It's more the fact that how many goals they're conceding is what's concerning to me.
Yeah, but. They just played. They played Arsenal, yeah. Then they got a bit of a hiding from City.
Well, it was City, Arsenal, and then now Liverpool.
Yeah, and so all of them are a bit of a hiding in it. So the Arsenal one could have been so many more. I mean, the amount of saves Travers did against Arsenal. That could have been so every game is just killing their confidence because these top teams are just cutting them open. I mean, worst place after a run like that is to go to Anfield after they've lost the derby. I think you have to put some perspective on it that look at who they've signed. They've not signed anyone to help that squad. Yeah. That squad, got automatic promotion. They got the second place, but they were never convincing. They got it because a lot of teams choked in that running, and then sadly, got to a point where a team that was in the bottom of the table 6 games into the season, what became their biggest challenges to get automatic promotion, which was Nottingham Forest. So they weren't that convincing or strong in the Championship. And then, they haven't really strengthened. I mean, who's Ben Pearson? And, we're getting players from Blackburn Rovers and things like Rothwell. Is it something Rothwell? And you're like, come on, that's not enough to compete in the Premier League. So I do feel sorry for them.
Do you think it's been dealt a short hand, as in like the owners not spending enough, and obviously for you, considering if you look at all the teams that's come up, they've all been spending. All the teams within the Premier League, they're spending already, especially because of these new five sub rules, etc. Everyone's strengthening up, and they're just not spending enough.
Yeah, and the worst thing is their best player Solanke's injured.
Yeah.
So, their leading scorer, the guy who really makes them tick, because you couldn't get 2 more different strikers than Solanke and Kiefer Moore. I mean, Kiefer Moore's a target man, and then you got Solanke who plays that first 9 all action style where he really links up the player and everything. So I think, and I think the other player who was really impressive last year, and I saw him a couple of times, Anthony, he was injured for a couple of the games. So I think he's back now. But yeah, they've had a raw deal and really tough fixture list. And it's, I mean, Liverpool were at the devastating best, isn't it? And that's the thing. I mean, they did not let up. I think, what was it? Was it 4-0 at half time?
Listen, I'm not
another 5 second half.
This is gonna sound really bad.
Is it 5-0? Yeah.
This is gonna sound really bad. When it was 9-0, I think I sent one of my Liverpool friends a text. I got, listen, I know it's bad as it is for Bournemouth, but I hope it's 10 because it'll be a record in the Premier League. As bad as it sounds, like it might as well.
Nah, I'm glad that they happen. I don't think any team deserves that. And on a professional level, you don't want to see gaps like that in the Premiership as well.
Definitely
so not. 9-0 is bad enough and humiliating enough. But I'm glad the double jitters didn't happen. It just made the story even more bigger.
It's funny, a text from on Twitter, they sent Southampton sent a message, "We got you, bro," or something like that to So it's good. But in terms of Liverpool, surely that's gonna give them the confidence and the belief to kick on from here. Now, obviously, their season pretty much started now. Obviously, this first win.
But I don't know. It just seems like. Just doesn't seem like everything's right at the club. When you see players sniping at each other on the pitch, Klopp having home truth with the players, and then Do
you think there's internal conflicts? Then is that what's happening at the moment? There's some unrest within the squad.
I'm not sure. I think there is some unrest in the club because at the end of the day, they were happy with their business. But the moment City continued getting players in and strengthening, and then you're seeing Arsenal strengthening and Chelsea strengthening and Man United strengthening. This is the team that just lost by 1 point, the league. They're super motivated. They've got loads of injuries. They want to see that same reaction from their board, from their club. At the end of the day, when you look at all the sales and signings, they've only really spent, I think, 14 mil.
Ooh, Liverpool, they spent 100 million on Diaz. Come on, euros.
When you look at all the sales they've made, so net is only 14 mil. So clearly, I think there is some frustration around that because the players can see the need for signing. Klopp definitely can see the need. I mean, no one can tell me that midfield does not need freshening up. Of course it does. So I do think there's a bit of frustration around the club. You can tell, and so I'm not sure. This is my predictions for them to win it. Let's see. It just seems like it might be one of those slightly inconsistent seasons because they've got a bad injury list and things just don't seem at all smooth and well behind the scenes. They'll get over it. That's what Klopp is like.
What do they need? Do they like? I mean, what's missing for them? Because obviously they got Fabinho, they got Henderson and Milner. They got Harvey Elliott playing as that box-to-box kind of right-hand side, Mazzella. But what do they need? Do they need another box-to-box player, an engine in the midfield? What's required?
I mean, Henderson, Milner, and Harvey Elliott ain't going to win the Premiership or the Champions League if that's what you're having to rely on. So I don't think that's a strong enough midfield. It was weak against United, so as soon as Fabinho's not in there, and then Thiago's not in there, it doesn't look that strong. And then it does need freshening up. You just you're relying on Milner and he's getting on, and even Henderson doesn't look as on it as he normally does. I know against Bournemouth. He was a bit more on it, but everyone looked good against Bournemouth. So,
Wait, Salah. I was surprised how he didn't score or get an assist, but he did get a lot of pre-assists. But
he was like the decoy in it for a lot of the moves. He was like the guy, drawing the attention and
chilling out at the back in transposition or something.
Well, he played a bit more wider, but yeah, I mean, he didn't play bad though. That's the main thing, is he didn't, and he missed a couple of sitters. I mean, there's a couple he should have definitely put away. So he did have his chances. He had probably better chances than the ones that got actually scored from. So he should have really put a couple away.
So not too much concern.
Yeah, they're up and running. They'll have their mojo back. Let's see if they can keep some. Because I just think that midfield doesn't look that strong, and obviously the defense ain't as strong because Matip ain't there. Konate is injured, so Gomez has always got mistaken him, and Van Dijk has been inconsistent. So
they got Newcastle at home, so it should be a good test.
Yeah, I mean, Newcastle are like the form team. I mean, they're giving everyone a battle.
Right, let's move on to the champions. 4-2. Again, made it hard for themselves. What do you make of it?
Yeah, I mean, kind of Crystal Palace scored
2 goals, isn't it? Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't that Man City were playing bad.
Yeah.
It wasn't like Man City were playing bad, but 2 set pieces. The first one, Diaz was at fault, kind of ducks. He ducks under the header, and then it hits stones and ends up being an own goal, and then
it hits his knee and goes in, isn't it? So
yeah, but the point is, Diaz should have headed it. He ducks last minute, and that's obviously
it's too close for stones to do anything. It's too close and flat-footed. So the second goal,
great header for Menderson. I really think he's probably one of the best defenders outside of the top teams.
Yeah.
Even though they're conceding,
he's been on great form.
Yeah, he's still stopping a lot from Crystal Palace could easily be conceding more if it was for him. Guehi has not started the season well. He's making a lot of mistakes, looks unfit. He's not quite on that form that got him into the England setup. So, yeah, but again, the biggest talking point is the controversy around that third goal. That was a clear goal. I don't understand why they chalked off Ayew's goal. That 3-0, that makes it.
It's game over.
Yeah, well, I don't know. You can't say game over.
No, you can't say that with City, innit? Yeah.
But that's a huge moment, and I can't see how there was any foul or obstruction on Ederson. That's poor. That's I'm surprised not more has been made of that, because
But the thing is, Adi, has it ever been made of that much when it's City or Spurs involved? No.
Yeah, I don't. That one is one of the strangest decisions I've seen. So I'm surprised VAR didn't get involved. I'm really surprised with that one.
I think
there was definitely no obstruction or foul on the keeper.
They just went on with the referee's decision. I think that's what happened.
Yeah,
back in their mates again. But I mean, Haaland hat-trick.
Yeah, and he's showing his repertoire of, the header was amazing. Yeah. The way he attacked the space, saw the space. The second one, the movement to peel off in the back post.
Yeah. Got lucky on that one, but again, he's in the right place at the right time. That's
well, he's in space. The key thing is he's in space, and the thing is, how many times have we seen in the last 2 game weeks anyway, the best strikers, the most prolific strikers, the Hurricanes, the Haaland, they're all peeling off towards that back post. So there's something in that peeling off towards the back post that gets you sweaty goals. So, and then the third goal was sublime, absolutely sublime. I mean,
I really enjoyed that.
The touch, the way he uses his body to protect it. The finish was finesse as well. I mean, wow.
No keeper saving that. That was
took the shot early. That was so much more classier than people realize.
Yeah,
the way he finished that off.
100%. Keeper didn't even move, Adu. Keeper didn't even.
He couldn't. It's just done it.
It's just
done it so early. Took it so early, and wow, what a finish, eh?
But do you know what other thing I was gonna say is like even that is his first goal. That's something Man City didn't score last year in those key areas.
The thing is, when I watched them last year, the thing that I was surprised was how much they crossed the ball now. And last season, I did notice them crossing the ball a lot, but yeah, you're right. They didn't get many headed goals.
They didn't have that.
It always go all the way across, and then maybe someone will cut in and take a shot or something. In the second phase, might get a goal or create something. But yeah, and his reading of that, I mean, it looks like a great cross now, but I think Haaland made it a good cross. It was a bit of a floater. I mean,
but again,
if he doesn't read it so early, a keeper just grabs that easily.
He finds that space again. Great striker.
Yeah.
Bernardo Silva, anything to make of him? Is he staying? Seems like
I mean, you can tell he's definitely staying. He's even said statements like he'll give his all. So you can tell he's staying, and
you can see
finally Pep is doing the charm offensive to another player other than KDB. He's actually, sucking up to Bernardo and making him feel important and special. And there's even talk that they're offering him a new contract.
Wow.
So I think that's big because you can see, the quality he brings.
Do you remember a couple of years back where Bernardo had that amazing season, and literally the following season, Pep dropped him.
Yeah, 3 seasons ago. Yeah,
and how is he dropping this guy?
And then even if we go back to last season, while KDB was injured, he was the main guy. He was the main for us, the main guy who's giving, carrying. And that first half of the season, he was the most impressive player.
Yeah. Bernardo.
So he's the one who, when they were behind, was the most influential player when they were on the run to close the gap, to get back to top by the end of the year. So
I think that in itself is a massive signing for Man City, just keeping him.
Yeah, because even with all that distraction, and he looked a bit off the pace in the first few games.
Yeah.
But now look, he's back into the full swing. His finishing is unnerving, just class. What a classy player.
He's just too good. He's too good. He's definitely one of the best in the league. Let's move on to the Man City's rivals. United 1-0, great win at Southampton. What do you make of it? Must be happy, I do. Come on.
You give United a lot of praise when he says Man City's rivals.
No, you guys are though.
I don't think it's not a real rivalry. It's just geography now, man. But yeah, it's hard fought win. Both teams had a lot of chances. Both teams were going, at it. It's like a toe-to-toe slinging match, and United came out on top because they just had that little bit more quality in the end.
That was a great finish.
Yeah, what a finish.
That was a great finish because that pace that was here to control it and place it to bottom corners, that was brilliant.
Yeah, and you can see he knew exactly where it was going. Absolutely quality finish, and But yeah, I mean, I think United will gain more from winning like that than anything else because it wasn't easy. I mean, Southampton played really well. Southampton really took the game to them. I thought Adam Armstrong was causing the problem. He was running at them, and yeah, you know, on another day, there's a couple of good saves from De Gea. Martinez again was awesome. Again, when you watch the game, he won his fair share of headers and challenges and the physical battle with Che Adams, who again had a very impressive performance. Malacia again was really good. I thought Varane was excellent. So I think it's good for that back line. It's good for that back line that they held firm.
Yeah.
But the midfield wasn't great off the ball. McTominay made mistakes. Like I said, as soon as it becomes a direct game, you don't see much of him off the ball. But again, I think they're gonna gain more confidence from getting a 1-0 and holding on.
That's what I was gonna say. The clean sheet's gonna help them a lot, isn't it? And plus, the other thing is continuing with the same back line for second game in a row. That will also give them four especially a lot more belief and confidence that the manager trusts us.
Well, when the opposition plays well, and you really have to have your backs against the wall, and you really have to defend, and there's a lot of last ditch stuff. I just think that lets you know you can handle going into the trenches. You can handle going up against a team that really takes the game to you. Because Southampton was super aggressive and super attacking. They really push numbers forward. They push both fullbacks out. And they played. I thought they played very well, very good. And that Kochap, the defender, was
Bella Kochap, 20 years old, amazing.
But he was man of the match for me. I mean, the amount of one-on-one duels, he just made it look so comfortable. For me, he even though he's the loser, he was the stand-up player for me.
Amel Bella Kochap, remember the name.
Yeah, another talented, excellent scouting from Southampton.
Yeah, he's fast as well. You'd be surprised, he's
fast, strong, composed.
Yeah, really, really good catch. I think a couple of years in the Premier League, you can see someone going with big money move for him.
Probably Liverpool. Southampton is known to be their feeder club.
Van Dijk's replacement.
Maybe. I mean,
are we making a call here right now?
Nah, he's got a long way to go to reach that level, but he looks very promising, that's for sure.
Definitely. With regards to United, exciting news. Anthony Dunn, what do you make of that?
Yeah, obviously they've paid over the odds. But obviously you're paying that premium because of he's going to the team that has just taken the manager and kind of they could probably push it with only Ten Hag because they will know how much Ten Hag and Anthony have a strong relationship, and how if there's anyone who's going to overvalue Anthony, is going to be a manager who's already worked with him. So that's what's happened. It is stupid money, but I've seen Anthony play. I've seen him play in the Olympics. He was amazing. He's one of those players just really works you in different ways. Really intelligent. His combination. He's not that. He's not that Rafinha type is going to just dribble at you all the time. He's going to do you with combination play, trickery, little flicks and link ups, quick 1-2s. He's very good at getting the strikers into the game.
He's so good in the ball, isn't it?
Yeah. So and he's got a fiery side. He might get himself sent off. He's a bit of a prima donna sometimes, but he has got a fiery side. He presses, he dives in. He's got work ethic. But the main thing is he's very good at bringing the 10s and the strikers into the game and involving them, because a lot of the work that he does is quick 1-2s and link up play. the way I would describe is he's one of those players. The way he plays is quite similar to the way Benzema plays. Obviously, different position, but the way that he's always on the first touch, looking to bring people in, looking to involve them. So his goals and stats don't look as great, is because he's so involved in the build-up play. A bit like what you saw from Salah this week. You could say that is how Anthony is in the sense that he's a lot of the time ends up being the focal point to breaking up or creating the overloads for someone else, so the two other attackers to benefit from. So I do think, it is overpriced, but then no one's gonna say nothing if he's, that's what he can do.
Yeah.
But he very a creative player.
So I mean, in terms of the United lineup, what does that mean now? Sancho on the left and Anthony on the right with Rash up top. Is that what he's going with, or do you?
Well, all that means is now you've got the option of playing Rashford up top when you need, if Martial doesn't pull through. So now you're not desperate for Cristiano Ronaldo to keep Cristiano Ronaldo now, because you can play Rashford up top now. Before, you needed to play Rashford on the left, because then that means Elanga's your first choice, and even though he works hard, he's done okay. When it comes to the crucial moment, you can tell that elite level quality ain't there yet. He needs to learn a bit more, play a bit more regularly. He panics his shots, he rushes things. At the key moment, always makes the wrong weight of pass. So he does a lot of things until the final execution he messes up. So that'll come with experience, hopefully. But it just gives Ten Hag a bit more options and flexibility in how he uses Rashford.
Sure. With regards to United signing, do they need anyone else, or would you, as a United fan, would you be happy with that? What they've done so far, Casemiro, and you got Anthony in now, obviously, and then obviously I think De Bruyne is getting done as well. Backup keeper to De Gea.
Yeah, obviously they needed backup because clearly they're not convinced with Heaton playing in the Europa League, and so they need a keeper for the Europa League. And I mean, obviously, the dream is still, if there's some way of getting Frankie de Jong, but that won't really happen. But that's United fans being greedy and optimistic.
He is in the UK, I do. And he is apparently with a United player, but it's for his wedding. I think it was for his wedding or something. For Van der Beek's.
Yeah, so let's see. It could be some undercover covert operation. I don't know. So if you do get him, it's not a necessity now that you got Casemiro, and Casemiro showed that little bit of extra heart that he's gonna bring. There's a point where one of the players, I can't remember, on the left-hand side was getting a bit, hustling a lot, and Casemiro just got his arms, body, everything involved, and shoved the guy out and just cleared the ball, and finally we got a no-nonsense defender.
But it's also someone good for someone like McTominay and stuff to learn off, and just because he's gonna bring in great experience no matter what.
Yeah,
and it's something. Yeah, it's something when you got a midfielder like that next to you, it'll improve you no matter what.
Yeah, he's good. I mean, he's good with young players. He's good team players. The main thing is the mentality, the calmness that he brings. So that and Eriksen with Fernandes in the 10, that could be a really lethal partnership. Yeah, it's exciting, really.
They finally seemed a bit more happy. I did, so I'm happy.
Well,
let's move on. I do. Other game, Chelsea against Leicester, 2-1. Great win for them, considering being a player down at 0-0.
Yeah, another one that I think is going to give them a lot of confidence, grinding out a result, with the man down. Sterling getting his first goals. He's been unlucky the last few weeks. He's had goals disallowed, so good that he's finally got himself off the mark. And they really showed a lot of resilience, because second half Leicester really took the game to him and made the extra man count. And yeah, I thought.
Was the referee right to send off Gallagher?
Yeah, I mean, it's just absurd when you're on a yellow card to do a tackle like that.
Yeah.
That's a no-brainer.
It looked really
and yeah, I felt sorry for him because of his reaction and the pressure. You can just tell he was playing with a lot of pressure to prove himself, and I don't think Tuchel has helped. Tuchel hasn't really, made it easy. He's put a lot of pressure on him. So yeah, it's not good to see the young player,
I think he really wants
altering under the pressure.
He really wants to play for Chelsea, and he really wants to show what it means for him. And I think he's over kind of doing it sometimes, maybe, and that's what it is. Taking it to that level. But I mean, in terms of Leicester, another loss.
Yeah, and another mistake for Man Utd. That's just, you kind of think they deserve it as long as they keep playing. It doesn't take 2 seasons for you to realize someone's not good enough for the Premiership. And last season he was at fault for many goals. This year he is.
He's not even a defender. That's the thing. He's a defensive mid. They're playing him. It's bizarre, and they got Soyuncu sitting in the bench. I don't know what the issue is with him. Then get rid of Soyuncu.
Soyuncu was poor last season too.
No, I get it, but you got to give him a chance this season, right? Then get rid of Soyuncu. Then what's the point of just having him?
We don't know what's going on there. Maybe it's not fair. Maybe I don't know. Maybe they're just trying to get him more motivated. So when Fofana deal goes to, they end up, they got a motivated player who wants to prove himself.
Yeah,
don't know.
They're sitting bottom.
No, but obviously, let's say in terms of them being ambitious club, it seems like that cycle has ended. They've not even spent any money. They're struggling to keep their players. Yeah, and it looks like Rodgers just looks like disinterested. He doesn't look committed. He looks like you see managers where they're not happy and they kind of wave the white flag without ever saying it, and they pretend to be all in and still, happy, but you can just tell that conviction ain't there, that edge ain't there, and maybe that's showing.
I think it requires a change now. I think that's what you can tell. I think it's got to a stage where it's just something needs to happen somewhere.
Yeah, because they still have good players at the end of the day. They still have good players, and I don't know. Maybe if it continues against some of the teams they expected to beat, and they start having a few more losses at home, then the pressure's really going to turn. But yeah,
I mean, they got United next at home, so it doesn't get easier for them.
Yeah. Like I said, back end of last season, I think they're the only. Carrick still thinks United's a hard game. Even Southampton outplayed us. So let's see.
You got the result, though, innit? You got the result. Doesn't matter being outplayed. You can, Tottenham get outplayed every week and they still win.
But that's their tactics. That's counter-attacking. That's game plan. That's the style of play. That's not.
It's a good way to move into our next topic, isn't it?
Yeah. Definitely.
Tottenham, again, similar situation, and again, 2-0 win. Good win for them. Harry Kane, what is it, 187th goal now, joined third all-time in the Premier League. I think 200 and something goals in the league overall. Wow.
Yeah, so it's phenomenal. And yeah, I knew this whole myth around Harry Kane starting well, it wasn't a myth. It was kind of factor. He used to start every season slow and never used to kick into gear. Yeah.
Month of August, he never used to score, but I think last year he kind of proved that wrong. So
yeah. But when you saw pre-season of Conte, you just knew Harry Kane ain't gonna be slouching or off the pace this year. Again, you just knew he's gonna start the season on fire. And yeah, if you could have predicted this game from the off that You know, you couldn't get more perfect opposition for this Conte team. You know, they sit off, they like to counter attack, they like teams over attacking and really going for it. And yeah, I mean, the first goal was really soft. And yeah, I thought both goals were really soft and panicky defending and not good, great defending. They got kind of McKenna and
Moral.
the one who used to play for thingy Cook. Yeah, that's it, Cook. And yeah, I don't think they're good enough. They need Niakate back. He started the season off really well. He looked really good. I think they need to get Niakate back. I think if they get Bowley in, Bowley will make a big difference. So yeah, they may be the first team ever that has like a whole squad of signings. Looks like they're gonna hit 2020.
17 players.
I think they got
No, it's 17 last I checked.
no, they got Lodi confirmed now.
Yeah, with Lodi 17.
Yeah, so and they're gonna get Bowley in, and I think they're going for Serge Aurier still, and then you don't know who else they're gonna go for, but they played really good, dominated the game, but just lack of maturity. Lingard,
It's a very
Brennan Johnson,
well.
Gibbs White, they're all the same. They're all attacking midfielders who are skillful, but they love taking a wild shot, when there's better options. And sometimes, overconfidence can be a problem. I mean, for all the good play and kind of chances, promising situations they created, they only got one shot on target, which was more across that ended up looking like a shot. I mean, they didn't test Lloris once, so yeah. No, first need to probably get better at.
That's 17.
A bit more composed, but yeah, they played good. They look really threatening. I got a feeling, they're a team that could comfortably survive, this year, and I could see them being a team that, if they carry on like this with this ambition, they're going to be one of the teams really challenging the top half and the top team.
Do you reckon the problem will be whether the team gels or not? Because obviously that's a lot of new signings and new players to bring in.
And I don't think it's as a big a deal, because you got to remember, last season there were so many loan signings and they still managed to gel and go on a run straight away. Okay. So I think it's more down to the manager, the training. They're very obviously clearly very good at integrating players into the system and understanding the system and coaching the system. And the signings, I think the biggest thing is the quality of the signings. I mean, those signings are quality players.
Yeah.
Frula, Mangala, all those players, Lodi.
I'm surprised with Lodi, you know that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just thinking, is it Lodi the player who destroyed United in the Champions League last year?
Yes.
Both legs as well. I was like, how the heck can they get Lodi in? So
it's coming back to haunt you.
They are just doing really clever signings.
And good players
and good prices. They get some of them. All right, Gibbs White. I know everyone's going to think ridiculous, but this guy is a potential superstar.
Gibbs White.
I think the energy, the way he presses.
I think a lot of people also forget there's a lot of salon like clause and stuff that takes it to that price, but
yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? I think people are just being a bit maybe over the top.
I think they've got most of their players in for very good value, good prices, and you can see how they're constructing the team. It's intelligent. It's not just going for anyone. They're going for quality players. Better than maybe some of the midfield teams have. Lodi is better than a lot of the left backs that the midfield team has. You'd say Lodi is better than West Ham left backs to get it. So that ambition they're showing, I got a feeling that if they had the experienced striker, I think they would really be going place. But yeah, going to Nottingham Forest is like feels like you're going to Selhurst Park, Crystal Palace. It's not many teams are going to enjoy going there and pick up points. So Tottenham done excellent.
Yeah, good win.
Picked them off.
But that's their experience and that's their game plan. Like we've seen it, isn't it? That's what they do. Let opposition overplay and then boom.
And this is the thing is in all of their games, they haven't been that convincing. So they've won, 3 games, is it? And drawn 1?
Yeah.
Chelsea, they weren't the better team. The first game, they weren't really the better team. Here they weren't so effectively they're winning games and mentality already. There'll be a point when Son starts clicking into gear. That's what I was
going to say. Is there a cause for concern with Son and his form?
Yeah, he looks a bit like there's a point where he squared the ball to one of the other players. And it's like Son last year is hitting that. He's cutting in. He's hitting that shot. Anyway, so he looks like but they're lucky Kulusevski is playing. So I felt he was the difference maker against Nottingham Forest in the sense that he was the main out ball when they were trying to play out and they just couldn't win the ball off him. He's very good at protecting the ball. And then obviously some of the counter is just getting that ball straight into Kane. So yeah. He started the season very strong.
Did you hear Conte's praise to Son? He goes, he talked about if he was looking for a husband for his daughter and son, Son would be like, I was like, talk about pumping the guy up and making him his son.
I'm sure if we go down the history, that won't have been the first time Conte's used that analogy. I'm sure I think he did say that about Barella saying so yeah, I'm sure at Inter I'm sure he used it as well. So yeah, he at the end of the day you can just see what he's doing. He's just really creating a mentality, a siege mentality, and they just enjoy suffering for Kane to pick up the pieces and reap all the rewards of the rest of the team suffering. So.
No, definitely.
Yeah. It's refreshing in the sense that you got City playing their possession and positional style. You got Liverpool playing this high press, counter press, just attack at all costs, over attack every time.
Yeah.
Style, and you got Arsenal still not defined fully, but when they're on it, they look like they're going to play that combination of attacking football. You got Ten Hag trying to play possession, and now you got possession, and now you got someone playing counter-attacking, old school counter-attacking. So it's good. It mixes it up. Keeps it.
But it makes the games interesting as well because you can then see how the different tactics works against each other and what nullifies what. And it might help the opposition. So when you're playing another team, it might give you an idea.
And that's why it's good. It's good to have that difference in tactics.
This is why the Premier League is the best league in the world. Simple.
Yeah, well, they're paying all the big managers to come down, and that's why.
Big attraction. That's why I do. Let's move to Tottenham's bitter rivals, Arsenal. What do you make of them? Another win, hard fought, or made it hard?
Yeah, I thought wasn't really convinced. They were the better team, though. They were the better team.
No, they're the better team, but made it hard for themselves with giving that goal.
But yeah, definitely the Odegaard goal was very fortunate. Thought Fulham played well without being able to really create, but they still really done well to contain Arsenal. They put a good shift in. They were confident. They looked good, but Arsenal, I thought it's one of those ones where they want to mentality, which is going to be good for them. But I wasn't convinced with the football they played and the way they react. I thought Definitely, and I think you might not still admit, but I thought Odegaard was superb the moment they were a goal down.
No, I thought he was. I thought he was really good the whole game.
The
This is the
tackles he
first
put
time
in, he really played with the tempo. He was winning the ball back. He was the outstanding player on the pitch, and he kind of did give a captain's performance and drag Arsenal back into that game.
Definitely.
Very fortunate with the deflection, but he deserved it because of the way he took the game by the scruff of the neck. I mean, he really put himself about.
Yeah,
surprised me a couple of times. I had to look twice again. Was that Odegaard winning the tackle and putting himself about? Like, wow.
Do you know what it is? Like, I always said it to you. I don't have a problem with it. In these type of games, Odegaard's gonna get that. My problem is when the going gets tough. Do you know what? Or when you go to Selhurst Park, when you go to places like that, or when it's against Liverpool, that's when you want him to stand up.
That granted, at home it's easier, but at the end of the day, there's a lot of other players, experienced players in that team. None of them stood up. And at the end of the day, he's the guy who took the challenge to Palhinha. Palhinha was dominating that midfield battle. He's putting himself about. No one else was going for him, other than Jesus.
Yeah, Jesus was
so it was good to see Odegaard step up and really take the challenge to
Palhinha. Jesus at one stage was at right back trying to get a ball back. That tells you it's crazy work. Yeah. But great character, I would say, considering obviously going 1-0 down. Great character from even Gabriel as well, getting that goal. Because he could easily.
Yeah, it's gonna increase their self-belief, But Leno came and sorted you out, innit?
Agent Leno.
If he just stayed on his line, he would have just easily caught that. But yeah, he tried to come and grab it, punching something that.
Listen, he was dying to get a win. Okay?
You could tell he's going to.
He really wanted to make a statement. So for all those people that are saying, you know what, he sorted us out. Chill out.
So no, I think they got the win. I didn't really like the way they were on after they got the second goal. Like the criticism we said at some point last season, I think against Everton, they're doing the same thing and they ended up losing the game. And I was so happy because like when they take the lead, there's time wasting and playing to win, and then there's just pure stupidity, like taking it to the nth degree, and the killing time and the amount of players suddenly getting a cramp and kicking off with them just to waste. There's a limit, and I remember when they started to play that, it reminded me why I started to hate Arsenal and Arteta the way they were playing last season, because I remember against that Everton game, they did it from like the first half. It's like, that's just so ridiculous. You're playing, dark arts football, desperate to hang on to a win. You got to have more to your philosophy and to your, you got to back yourself more. So I do think after seeing that, if they carry on down that mode, where as soon as they take a lead, they're gonna start shutting up shop, and I think that's a weakness in mentality. And I just think,
I think that's what cost us a lot last year. Forget the dark art stuff. What I mean is in terms of their intensity levels when they drop it. As soon as they go a goal up or something, they drop that intensity level, drop off and back off from the opposition team, and start defending. Every time that's happened, it's cost us.
And it could have cost. It could have cost you a game. Yeah, I mean, Chalobah, that was a great volley from that.
There was great 2 saves from Ramsdale and a great block from Ben White.
Yeah. Handball.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, hit his hand, but it was harsh.
I did allow it. Allow it. You're desperate now.
No, I'm just saying it hit his hand.
Desperate now.
For what? I mean,
he'll cut his hand off for you. There you go. Happy?
It still hit his hand.
Happy? He'll cut his hand off for you.
But the point is, it hit his hand. I'm not saying it should have been given as a penalty, but
he's got his back turn. He's got his back turn, falling down. You're going to call that handball, okay?
It hit his hand. I'm not saying it should have been a
I think
handball.
he can't cut his hand off, can he?
I
Where's he gonna
don't
go? He's
think,
falling down.
Hassan, I don't think you're getting it. I'm just stating a fact. I'm not saying it should have been a handball. Take your Arsenal passion and chill it down a notch.
Nothing to chill down. It's
You're
not
misreading the whole situation. It
It's
was
not.
a handball. I'm
It's
not
not
saying
penalty.
it should have been a penalty,
It's not penalty.
but it was a handball.
It's not penalty.
In the Italian and Spanish league, under VAR, that would have been a penalty, 100%. Because you see some of the most ridiculous stuff in VAR in Spain and Italy.
Is it? Okay, I haven't watched. I haven't watched
that handball that White did, where he just slid across and the back of the hand, it touched the back of the hand, would have been given a penalty in Spain.
Wow.
They would have reviewed it under VAR and they would have given a penalty.
Wow. Don't know. I haven't watched much of them, so
yeah, watch it. It's worth watching just to see the way they use VAR.
Yeah, it's completely different in all the leagues.
Ridiculous. It's literally a different rule for the top teams. It's totally favoring the top teams still, the way they adjudicate the VAR. So yeah, definitely slightly more balanced, I would say, in the UK. Other areas they're a bit, the Premier League's a bit over the top, but this season I think VAR's been quite good, better than last season, less controversial, still making mistakes, but
still there's been a lot, better. I would say. Yeah, it's improving. It's improving, but still not there yet. Who else did you want to talk about, Adu? Newcastle?
Yeah, that's a really good
what a finish by Maximilian, 90th minute.
Yeah. And thing is, they were second best, but as soon as they conceded, they really came back. They showed character. They got a lot of fight and team spirit in there.
They done it with that. What Wilson was out. Obviously they signed Isak. We'll talk a bit about him as well. Wood was playing up top, and then obviously Bruno was missing as well. Bruno Guimaraes. So they, I know it's a draw, but good result for them.
Yeah, and I think they played well. The main thing is they played well. They showed character to come back into that game, and Wolves were the better team for large portions of that game. But once they went a goal up, Newcastle showed good character, good fight to come back. So I think Newcastle are looking really strong, really solid. Shah looks really good, and I know Never's made a big deal about the tackle on Neto. Was never a red card. I think it was fine. Yellow card was about right.
Yeah.
The slow-mo making the tackle look worse than it actually was, and yeah, they look strong. I mean, Isaacson, a bit surprised they paid that much. It's because he's not a physical striker. And the way
even for his size, you wouldn't think that, but yeah, that's true. He's not.
He doesn't like playing that physical style as well. He'll do the quick 1-2 spin in behind. So that's going to be interesting to see, because the way Newcastle set up is they really do play to. They build up to that striker doing a lot of the work and linking it up and getting the ball into Maximilian. So. Yeah, Wilson does it a lot of good work with back towards goals and link up. Wood does that hold up play. It's going to be interesting to see how they're going to integrate Isaacson into the team. But yeah, if they have players that release the ball, Isaacson can score lots of goals. I mean, his movement, finishing, especially running and making runs in behind is really good. Only thing is, I don't know how that works with wingers like Almiron and Maximin, who love dribbling, and you're gonna make a spin and run in behind, and you're not gonna get that ball because
they're dribbling.
They're still dribbling. So yeah, let's see how that works. But he's a good striker.
But do you know what you could clearly see is like their strategy. Obviously, what they done last year was fixed all the broken pieces, as in terms of the weak.
Well, they targeted the defense.
Yeah, and then now they kind of doing that whole kind of back spine through from the back to all the way to the top, because they got Pope, Botman, Guimaraes, and then now they got Isak. So it seems like they fully got a plan in place to improve that squad.
Yeah. and they'll do well. They'll do well. The only other thing I want to talk about was Gerard under the cosh.
West Ham winning 1-0.
Yeah.
Is he getting the sack with his best friend Rodgers?
And Lampard, I don't know. All three together. Nah, I think with Gerard again, going to repeat it until I don't know, until he gets sacked or either he fixes it. They're just a team of individuals, man. Watkin gets on the ball, he does individual. Ings is like the only player who from that attacking line looks to pass. As soon as Coutinho gets the ball, he's trying to sign an individual. And the difference when Bundia came on, it's like, I don't understand how you can't see one player is making that whole team tick, which is Bundia, and you don't start him. And yeah, I will keep saying it, Gerard, Lampard, that you can tell both of them are similar type of managers in the sense that they're all about the work rate off the ball and mentality. And then they don't really give attacking templates to both their teams. They're not coaching an attacking template. They're kind of just good players, should make good decisions, and should be able to just
Do you think they leave it too much to instinct? That's what it is. They're just like, oh, instinct, whatever you see, play what you see.
Well, you could see that's the way they were as players. They were intelligent and good players. They understood the game, so they're expecting. But the thing is, they're not at clubs that has those elite level players where you don't have to coach them.
Yeah,
how to be creative, how to open up a team, how to attack. You have to give these players at Aston Villa and Everton, you have to give them a template of attacking. You got to give them a philosophy and identity away. It's not good enough just to say play good, simple passing football and that's it. It's got to be more developed than that. And I think that's why both teams are struggling, because they don't actually give an attacking template to those teams, to their players. And you can see the loss of that Michael Beale, who's now the manager of QPR, because he was quite an attacking coach and he was the main guy. So now that he's gone, there's a lot less direction in the way Aston Villa are attacking. And I thought it's the same anyway last year, but it's gone downside worse. And yeah, the way the fans were booing, it's not because of the result, because Aston Villa were the better team against West Ham. But what happened was, because they were struggling to create anything, the crowd turned. The crowd started getting anxious. And at the crucial moment, it was that gave West Ham more confidence. West Ham started to play more because of the struggles that Aston Villa were having in their own identity on the ball. They were the better team in winning the ball back. They were the better team in pressing. They were the better aggressive in the tackles, everything, the stats, the possession, but they had absolutely no idea of how to create a chance. And that anxiety spread around the whole team, around the stadium, and they ended up giving West Ham confidence to the point where you could see that positivity, difference of positivity, that a shot that was probably going straight at the keeper takes a deflection, loves Martinez is a goal. But that's because of the positivity that West Ham got. And they got that from the anxiety in the stadium. So I think definitely the sack race is looking
who's favorite?
I don't know. I think definitely Parker is
not Rodgers, considering only 1 point, haven't won a game.
It depends on the next few games, because it's not like there's been a comeback in nearly every game. There's been a reaction in every game. So maybe that tells you part of the problem, isn't it? That they always have to do a second half comeback and they're starting games so slow. But their reaction against Chelsea was good. Their reaction against Arsenal was good. Even the game before, they really, so I'm not sure he's totally lost the players, but against Chelsea, Tielemans was excellent. I mean, that second half, Tielemans was dictating that game, controlling that game. And anyone who is looking to sign Tielemans Arsenal, hint, hint, hint.
Why
Just
did
watch
you
that
shaking
second
my
half.
head,
Just
man?
watch how Tielemans, granted with the extra man, destroyed Chelsea.
Why did you keep
Absolutely
shaking my head?
controlled
I
that
just can't
second half.
believe the fact that it's still not done and over the line.
He was the standout player in the second half. I mean, he was
Right
really
about it.
impressive.
Yeah. On that note, Adib, thank you for joining us today, and thank you all for watching. As always, please make sure you like, share, subscribe, and see you soon.